We'll go to the third one here.
And by the way, everyone, me and Guerrero, this is just our normal conversation. This is what me and him talk like this to each other, bro. So, anyways, go ahead.
Flow state, you know?
Yep.
We're vibing at the same frequency. Uh,
Hmm.
Louis underscore the Mexican. What, he put down here, what holds me back is the weight of my problems and how they are mine to just carry on my own. Absolutely, a man. This is what we were talking about, similar to the first question. All the problems, all the issue, everything, like our kids don't give a fuck, if they're gonna eat or not. They just know that you're gonna fucking provide. You're the provider, they just say, hey, can I have this? Can I have that? Obviously my boys are older, but my daughter's still that, under my care. And
Right.
she still doesn't she depends on me. She
Yeah.
just, dad, I want this, dad, I want that. And she's like, damn, you, what do you think I am, a bank? But she just,
Yeah.
they're just asking. They don't give a
Yeah.
shit how you get the money. They don't care about what you're doing, or they don't know about the stress that you got to go through. You just either tell her no, not right now, or yeah, I mean, I got you. You go order it or get
Mhm.
it. Which that's
Yeah.
a good feeling to have, but not everybody could do that.
Absolutely. So let's break this down. You cannot resolve your issues. You cannot resolve your problems if you see yourself as a victim.
Mm.
Okay. One of the things that we teach, me and Guerrero teach, is that we teach people how to identify whether they look at themselves as a victim or not. And the reason why that is because it's extremely important for you to get rid of the victim mentality in order for you to create a better life for yourself. Yeah. Whatever problems that whatever problems that you currently have, you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and take 100% responsibility for all of those issues. You have to be able to say that you created them. You created them instantly, and you created them over time. And you created them by what you believe in, by your current belief system. You created it by the way you think, by the way you talk, and your habitual daily patterns. Remember, that's your mindset. Your mindset created your issues. Now, this isn't to point the finger at you and say and blame you, say, "Oh, it's your fault, you fucked up." No, that's not how you help someone heal. That's not how you help someone process.
Mhm.
But it's extremely powerful for you to take responsibility as an individual to say, "Hey, wait a second. I'm not a victim here. This didn't happen to me. This happened because of me."
Mm.
See, see, what a victim will say, "This happened to me. They did this to me. No one has my back. Nobody is helping me with my problems." That's what the fucking victim says.
Yep.
The opposite of a victim says, "You know what? I take responsibility for all this shit. I created it. I created it because I had the wrong mindset. And you know what? I don't need anyone's help. I don't need anyone's empathy or sympathy or understanding. You know why? Because I have all that I need right here and right here to be able to dig myself out of this fucking hole."
Ooh. Yep. Yep.
Okay. I have everything that I need. The only thing is I just need that courage, and I need to knuckle the fuck up to make a change in my life. Okay, because Guerrero is absolutely right. You need to understand right now. Nobody gives a fuck about your problems.
Mhm.
Nobody cares. Even me and Guerrero. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a fuck about your problem.
Mhm.
The only thing that I give a fuck about is sharing information with you so you can fix your problem.
Mhm. Yep. Straight up.
That's all I care about. I don't care about your fucking problem, nor do I care about how you feel. The only thing that me and Guerrero care about is providing you with the tools, the resources, and the information that you'll need so you can make those problems go away.
Yeah, straight up.
Okay?
Solid right there. That's solid to address, because a lot of times people, they want sympathy, empathy, and they want you to feel sorry for them. I ain't gonna feel sorry for nobody, because guess what? That's not gonna help you. Me
Yep.
patting you in the back, me consoling you, and babying you. What the fuck is that gonna do? That's just gonna fucking make you weaker.
That's
Nah,
right.
hear it, but obviously, direct, stern, and the solution is there. The help
Yeah.
is there. We're not just gonna criticize and just throw you under the bus and not have the solutions or the tools or the resources for you to get out of that. No, the thing is that you know what, you guys got to wake the fuck up, man, because that's what we need.
Yep.
People that's gonna
A
wake us up and tell us, how we gotta hear it, not how we want to hear it.
100%. And I'll go a little bit further to make it sting. Hey, your mom and dad, if you still have a mom and dad around, like I said, I'm 48 years old. Both of my parents are still alive. Uh, Even though your mom and dad may love you, they don't give a fuck about your problems.
Mm.
They don't have the resources to help you get through it. They don't have the resources to help you overcome it. They may care about you and love you as their son or their daughter,
Ooh,
but in reality, whatever you're going through, they're not trying to go through it with you because they got their own shit that they're dealing with.
ooh, yep. That's what I
Okay,
say. No, nobody's gonna love you like you should love yourself. Nobody is.
100%. Hey, your spouse or partner, your old lady or your man, even if they really, really fucking love you, even if they really, really love you, I'm going to tell you something. For us men, a woman isn't trying to be drained because her man has a bunch of problems and he can't overcome it.
Mhm.
One of the biggest ways to turn off our women is to be stuck in our feelings and stuck in our emotions and slowing down and getting into our bad habits of vices.
That's gold.
That turns them off real quick.
That's gold. Yeah, they gotta hear that.
And guess what? If you can't provide and if you can't produce, I don't care how much that woman loves you. She's going to be more attractive to a man who can provide and produce.
Ooh, that's the hard.
Even if she doesn't tell you, she's feeling that in here. And I'm telling you this to wake you the fuck up. Guerrero's telling you this to wake you the fuck up. No one gives a shit about your problems. And no one gives a shit about the way you feel. You know why? Because everyone is going through their own shit.
Mhm.
It may be different from yours. Guerrero is one of my best confidants. He's one of my best confidants. And I only wish the best for him. I want him and his family to have the absolute best that life has to offer. But if he falls off and starts going through shit, I'm going to feel for him as my brother, but I can't fucking help him.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm too busy taking care of my own shit. The best thing I can do is to get on the phone with them and coach them through this shit. But at the end of the day, he has to take that information and do something with it.
Mm.
And vice versa, by the way. If I fall off and I find myself in a dark tunnel, right? Something like that, I know I can call him, but at the same time, I know that I can't drain him with my fucking problems. I'm gonna have to shut the fuck up and say, Guerrero, coach me through this. Tell me what the fuck I need to do, and then I need to get off the phone with him and take action and do it.
That's gold. That's gold.
Okay? Nobody gives a shit about anyone's problems. And that doesn't mean they don't care about you as an individual. That doesn't mean that they're horrible people. No, they just got too much shit going on, just like you do. So we have to not play the victim, and you have to say, no one gives a fuck about what I'm going through. I created this, I got myself into it, and I'm the only motherfucker that can get myself out of it.
Straight up.
So if I'm lacking information, if I'm lacking tools and resources, then I got to do whatever is necessary to make that investment in myself so I can gather this new information, get my mindset where it needs to be so I can get off my fucking ass and make something happen for myself.
There,
Okay?
there it is. There it is. That's a wake up call. That's a wake up call because like my boy Louis, that's what's holding me back is his own way, like he said, in his problems, which, like I said, nobody's gonna give a shit unless you fucking decide to do something about it because you got yourself there. We all got
Uh,
ourselves in that mess. I'm not gonna blame nobody, for what I did. Just like I said back when my when my mom put me in jail. You know,
Hmm.
I wasn't gonna blame her. I got myself there. She was like, "Fuck, I'm not gonna
That's
put
deep.
it." You know, like you're out of here, man. If I'm not gonna deal with this, so hey, I caused that. I
Yeah.
create. I made that happen. So I knew at a young age that, pointing fingers and victimizing ain't gonna get you nowhere because like she told me this way back, you know what? You're your own man. You make your own choices, and you're the one that's causing this. Nobody else is.
Absolutely. And I want to share with all of you too. Like, me and Guerrero, as I say, we talk every day, and Guerrero was saying, he goes, you know what, Emilio? He goes, I can teach someone how to eat. I could teach them how to structure their macros. I could teach them what to eat to make sure they're hitting the right amount of protein, fat, carbs, the right amount of calories. I can teach them how to cut. I can teach them how to put on weight. I could teach them how to work out. I can teach them I could put their workout routine together, all that stuff. He goes, but one of the things that we're coming into contact with now, I'm seeing like that's the least of everyone's problem.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the least of everyone's problem. It's what's going on up here is what's destroying people right now.
Let's go.
They don't have the tools and the resources to process what's going on. They
Hmm.
don't have the tools and the resources to get them out of the hole that they're in.
Yep.
And so one of the things that we dedicated ourselves to, start, obviously, a few days ago, but we're going to continue to have these conversations with each other, but share them, but share them, right? And we're going to continue to hold our live trainings so that people can come in here and do some real work, right?
Real healing.
Uh, yeah,
Break.
some real healing, some real shadow work. We call it the shadow work because there's shit that's lurking in your shadow that you're not paying attention to. There's shit that's lurking in your shadow that you're ignoring. And it's that shit that you're ignoring and not paying attention to you, that's not paying attention to, that's creating all your fucking problems because you're refusing to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're putting
Let's
it off. You're putting it off. Hmm.
let's do one more. You got another one or,
Um,
or
I think that should be good. Like that, I could
okay,
do this in 3 sections. Yeah,
okay, okay,
yeah, we could go on and on and yeah, there's a few more, but yeah, we'll leave it here because the other ones are
okay.
relationships, and those are we could go on and on the relationship.
Yeah. Well, how about this? Our next one. What they should do is we should take some Q&A directly or specifically about relationships,
Mhm.
and then we can have our next talk about that, because that's
Okay,
we got conversation and content for days, you know what I mean? So
I'm gonna hit that on the next Q&As. I'm gonna put relationship, you know,
yeah,
uh, questions, and then like that, I'm just gonna get specific, just on relationship on those topics, because yeah, I have a few of them that I got to, but yeah,
yeah,
that opened a whole kind of worms because it's something that we were talking about when when I asked you about, the healing process, and when
yeah,
people go to marriage counseling and they ask you, Emilio, I want, I'm here for marriage counseling, meaning that, no, it's not that we are here. It's that as an individual, you have to choose to heal because if not, it's not going to work. That, you brought up a lot of good gems from that one right there. Just that one
I'll,
question that I sent you.
yeah, I'll share just a little bit on it because I think me and you can make a whole talk about that next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I just gave a talk about this yesterday, by the way. I was on a Zoom call yesterday and someone asked me about this. They're having problems in their relationships like a lot of people are.
Mhm.
Like that's one of the big problems right now is people are having marital issues and relationship issues
Yeah.
left and right, bro.
Yep.
Okay? And so people they're looking towards marriage counseling, couples counseling, relationship coaching, whatever, couples therapy, all this shit, right? And they asked me about it, and because this is something that I specialize in, right? I do not believe in any of those things, and I don't believe that any of them work. And this is why. A majority of the times that people go and enter into those things, one person in that relationship, their intention isn't to heal or fix the relationship. Their intention is to go in there and talk shit about their partner because they're upset.
Yeah, yeah, vent.
Okay.
They
Oh
vent.
yeah, it's a and all that shit all that makes it does is make it worse because the other person is going to get offended and they're going to talk shit, right? You
Yeah.
know. Well, what about you? When we first got married, you were skinny. Now you're fucking overweight. Well, you think I like that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it goes back and forth, right? So, and this is the problem with those kind of counselings or therapies or coaching. People are going in there. See, I hate when people say that. Oh, we're married or we're in a relationship, so we're one. We're one. Get the fuck out of here with that. You're never one. You're always two different people. I'm an individual, and the person I'm in a relationship is an individual. You can't heal, two people and say that they're one. Each person has to heal themselves separately, individually, and privately. When they bring people in, they try to heal them together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, guess what? Anytime that they try to bring us in together, I'm gonna be careful about what I say or what I admit. So that means I'm not gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I gonna be? I'm gonna be careful because I don't want to piss her off,
Yeah.
or she doesn't want to piss me off. She's When you get out of counseling, you guys gonna be driving home, and she's gonna be like, "Hey, Guerrero, you really feel that fucking way? You never told me that. Fuck
Yeah.
you." You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they'll
Okay.
fucking throw. Yeah, nothing gets healed. It gets even worse. That's
Oh
the.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, Guerrero, you can sleep on the fucking couch tonight. I'm saying,
Yeah.
yeah, right?
And we just came
So
from fucking therapy or counseling or marriage counseling, and now it's like worse. Now it's like all
yes,
the emotions kick in. Where the
yep,
fuck is the healing? Now you're talking shit to the fucking counselor, or what the fuck did you
yep,
do to us? You made it worse.
yep. And guess what? Now you don't want to go back to it, but now the counselor is calling you up and saying, "No, you got to give it a chance. You got to," because they want to keep getting paid.
Mm.
You don't know. You don't know. You guys got to keep coming. You got to keep coming, right? Yeah, but now we just got in a fist fight at the house because of what happened at the counseling. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, and so this is why I'm saying is when it comes to relationships,
Mhm.
both people have to heal and be willing to heal individually, privately, and separately. But this is the key about that. Sometimes, and a lot of times, when one person heals, they actually may realize that they don't want to be in that relationship anymore.
Mm.
Because the only reason why they were in that relationship because they were fucked up in their head. You get it? Like, a perfect example would be if two people are in a relationship and they like to drink, and a big portion of their relationship is getting drunk all the time and going out to the bar and all that other stuff. Well, the second that one person says, "Man, I don't want to drink anymore.
Mm.
I'm going to go get some help and I'm going to stop drinking." The second that person stops drinking, guess what? They're going to be turned off by their partner who's always drunk.
Mm.
And the person that's always drunk in the relationship, they're going to look at that person and say, "Fuck you. You think you're better than me now?"
Mm.
You
Mm.
get it?
Yeah.
Well, the same thing happens if one person heals their mind and heals their past traumas. They may come to a realization like, say, "Wow, I was only in that relationship because I was fucked up. I'm not attracted to that person anymore. I'm not attracted to this anymore." Okay. Because the only way that two people can grow together is if they heal together.
Hmm.
Okay. You can't have one person healing and one person said, "Yeah, you need to go to that because nothing's wrong with me. It's wrong with you." No. You got to understand that we both have to heal ourselves privately and separately and individually. But if we're already in a relationship together, we have to heal at the same time. We have to heal together,
Yeah.
meaning together at the same time, but not together in the same situation, right?
Same room.
Not in the same room. That ain't gonna work. Okay. And if you guys are able to heal, and if you're still attracted to each other and you still want to be with each other, now you just created a platform for you to grow together. Okay. But you cannot grow unless you heal. The reason why someone's having a relationship problems is because they can't grow. And the reason why they can't grow is because they haven't healed. We'll leave it on that one and then we'll talk about that later because that's
That's gold. That's a short clip that I, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
so,
Gold.
you know, but we good, brother?
Yeah, yeah, no, fire, man. I'm gonna work on
Okay.
this, and then I'm gonna throw that. This is like four different sections, so I'm gonna clip them up,
Nice.
and then share
Nice.
them like that, and then share them on YouTube as well, and
Yeah.
we'll continue and see what the feedback is.
100%, bro. And we'll take it anywhere you want to go, bro. So, any platform, whatever, let's just keep talking because I know our conversations will help people overcome situations. And I know we'll get them into a live training eventually to help them even take it even further to get themselves where they want to be. So we'll go from there, brother.
100%, Canal. Appreciate
All
you.
right, brother. All right,
Okay.
my man.
Yep.
You got it.